Hey guys, I want to tell you a story. Um, Let me preface it. Well, this might go a little bit longer than my normal videos. I normally try to keep them like 5 minutes or under because who wants to watch anything longer than that? But I'm gonna tell a story and it may go a little longer than that. And if you shut it off, that's fine. Um, just wanted to warn you. Anyway, unless you're a person like me and you always look, well, how long is it before you even start watching it? So I want to preface this story by saying that I was diagnosed years and years ago with infertility. I have been pregnant 3 times. I can't carry a child to term. It's okay. Some people are like, oh no, it's okay. I have grieved that. It's something that's a process. There are still days where I'm like, I see certain things and I think, oh, and it'd be nice to have a little family or whatever. But for the very most part, I have grieved that, and I'm okay. It's okay. Um, it's okay. So, but what you need to understand about that, and I know that some of my, supernatural, flowing in the spirit kind of friends are like, don't speak that as truth. God can do anything. And people are always saying that. Well, that's okay. Look, I'm 43 years old and I'm okay. Because at this point, if I had a baby, I'd be, like older than I care to be. And God bless the people who want to be older and have babies. I'm not joking. I think that's fantastic. But for myself, I have processed and I have come to a place where I'm okay. So, anyway, God has a plan. I'm still going to have children. I still have people I pour into. It's totally fine. But anyway, my point is all of that to say, my children are my animals. And I am a crazy, ridiculous animal freak. Like, I love my animals like they're my children. Look, I'm gonna cry and I don't even have any animals right now. I love I love animals. Okay. So that being said, I want to tell you the story of Dadgum, of my dog Sumo. So I want to get it together more than this though. So when I was married, I had 6 animals, and when my marriage ended, my life started transitioning into a place where saw that it was going to be possible to return to the mission field and to do something that I'd always wanted to do, and that was be a missionary. And so I spent a lot of time in prayer, and I came to the conclusion that I was going to need to place all of my children into homes in order to fulfill what I believed God was calling me to do. And I did that. And it was excuse me, I'm just real, y'all. Um, it was a sacrifice that I made to go to where I thought I was supposed to go, where I was supposed to go. So anyway, all of my animals ended up, in situations. A couple of them were rocky, but one in particular, my favorite dog, Sumo. It was a very, very, very difficult transition. Um, he is my favorite dog, and we have an absolute spiritual connection. I don't know what you think about animals, but this dog and I have a spiritual connection. Very, very close. I rescued him. His whole life has been an interesting gig. It's like he was abandoned at 6 weeks old. Found him, immediate eye contact and everything. Great dog, really great dog. I should also say that he is a Labrador pit mix, which people hear the word pit and they go, oh no. But I don't care what you say about that either. It's in the way they're raised and the owners and how they're trained, because I've had experience with 5 pit bulls in my life personally, and all of them have been absolute lover babies. Anyway, this isn't a political statement. My point is, Sumo was my favorite son, and placing him was very difficult. I prayed and prayed and prayed. I just trusted God that if this was His will, He would provide amazing homes for each of my children. And Sumo was the only one I couldn't find a home for. Again, I don't know if pit was an issue and all that, but anyway, there was only one person who wanted him. And so I ended up placing him there. Now, I'm going to leave that alone because that person did their best to provide him with what she felt was good at the time. Um, and it was just difficult for everybody involved. And we've made amends, and I don't want to make any kind of ripples in that way because it's not beneficial. There's no point. It's done, and it's all fine now, and God is good. So anyway, But I struggled, she struggled, Sumo really struggled. He lost a lot of weight. Um, it was a difficult time for him. And I finally got to see him at one point, and apparently after I left him again, he sat by the door for 5 hours, you know. It was just a difficult time. Dadgummit. Anyway, so that being said, I eventually got Sumo back because it wasn't working. So I got him back, and I kept him in the family. I placed him with a cousin of mine who provided him with an outstanding home. I mean, she is an animal lover to the extent that I am, and not that that other lady wasn't, because I believe that she is. Anyway, um, it was a good fit. You know, there's another pit bull there. He was like had family, smooth transition. I could see him when I wanted to. I got pictures and updates and all that kind of thing, and it was a good thing. And and I was blessed in that. Everybody was blessed in that, and it was a really good thing. Plus, I could house sit and pet sit for my cousin, and I would get to see him and sleep with him and love on him and all that kind of stuff. It was just fantastic. Well, anyway, it's come to the place now where my cousin's life has gone through a lot of transition, and she finds herself in a position where she can't keep Sumo. And I had him for 3 years. She had him for 3 years, and now we find ourselves in a position where, once again, we're trying to find a home for Sumo. Well, my heart would be, I want him myself, right? I want him myself. Even before my cousin came into all this transition, we discussed me taking him back because I'm home now. I'm obviously not going to be in the mission field. Um, Unfortunately, the job I have is manna for me. It's a blessing for me. It provides all I need as far as the responsibilities that I have right now, but I live at home. I don't live in my own place. I can't have pets here. I can't afford to move out and live on my own right now. So I automatically started rushing ahead, like, I need to get a different job, I need to do this, I need to do that, I gotta have my own place. All of these, which are desires of my heart as well, may I say. I want my own place. I love living alone. I'm a 43-year-old woman. Come on, you know? I would love to get a job that pays me. That's very possible. I could do that. So I'm looking at jobs, I'm looking at places to live, I'm looking at all this kind of stuff. But God the whole time is going, did I tell you to get a different job? Did I tell you to get a place to live? Do you not have everything you need? Do you not trust me with Sumo? It's been a really emotional thing. All of this I am saying to tell you this. I work for Bethany Christian Services. They are a Christian social service office. They place babies for adoption into their forever families, you know, people who struggle with infertility, people who just feel the call to adopt, you name it. But they also work with ladies in unplanned pregnancies, ladies who find themselves in a position that they didn't think they were going to be in or whatever, or for whatever reason, these ladies choose to place their babies into homes. Sorry. Well, I'm not sorry. This is a very real issue. And I just want to say that God has really, track with me here, God has really given me a gift through my struggle with Sumo, because I am intimately aware of what these ladies go through when they place their children for adoption. They don't place them because they don't love them. They don't place them because they made a mistake and they want to get rid of it. They don't place them because it's easier. Okay? They place them in a very selfless manner to give a gift to couples that can't have children, to give their child life, and because they know that they are not in a position to financially give that child the life that it deserves or that they want for it. And I have really come to understand the struggle and the experience that a birth mother has when she places baby for adoption, because this whole time with Sumo, it was a sacrifice to place him. It was a sacrifice to miss him and to wonder how he's doing. And Bethany is an advocate for open adoption, which, as am I, which is Adoptions aren't closed nowadays. It's not like you place your baby and then you can't have pictures, letters, updates. And sometimes if you're a healthy individual or if everybody's okay and it's all agreed upon, you can have visits. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. And many families become like family to the birth mother. It's like they just have this extended family, which culturally is still not understood widely, but it's so healthy. It's so amazing. It's such a beautiful thing if everybody can remain healthy and open and handle it well. So anyway, my point is, when Sumo was in his first home, a lot of things happened, fear, and the transition was difficult, and I wasn't allowed access to him, okay? When I wasn't allowed access to him, I was like, how is he? Is he okay? Is he, transitioning? Is everything all right? I couldn't stop thinking about him. Well, of course I couldn't stop thinking about him anyway, but I couldn't stop thinking about him. But for example, with my cousin, when I had full access, you can see him, you can hear from him, you can get pictures, letters, updates, you can come and visit him, you have full access to him. I was secure. I could rest. I could accomplish the goals that I had to accomplish before me to get to where I was going because I knew he was safe. I knew he was secure, and I knew that he was happy. And it's the same thing for birth mothers. People get so freaked out when they hear open adoption. It's like, well, that's my baby. I don't want his birth mother, in the picture. That is such a selfish thing because if you have an open adoption, if you give her access, pictures, letters, updates, then baby's going to be healthier because he knows where he comes from and he's got medical history, he's got all the understanding that he needs, and you're going to learn a level of love that you had no idea even existed, and that's opening your heart and mind to somebody who gave you the greatest gift that you could have possibly not had she not done it. So hello, get outside of yourself. Sorry, this is my gig and I'm going to say what I want. I'm not trying to be politically correct right now, but anyway, I'm just saying that I've been given this gift, as much as it hurts, to understand what ladies go through when they place their children for adoption. Um, and I'm grateful for that. I'm still going through it, which tells me years into it, birth moms still experience it. They still miss their children. I have friends, on Facebook and things that I know who've placed, and they're posting pictures of their children that they've placed and the visits that they get, and it's like that is the highest moment for them. That is like it's so great, but he's doing okay and he's secure, and it's been a bumpy journey, but here we are, or whatever, and it's really a beautiful thing to say. All of this is just to say, please pray for these birth mothers. If you know any, love them, man. If you know any, you probably know how amazing it is and all that, and you're probably already being who you're supposed to be. If you don't know any, pray for them, please, because it's this excruciating thing to place your child. So much more than a dog, I'm sure. But here I am, 3 years after I placed my dog, and I would still have evenings where I was just aching for him. And we did have this spiritual connection. We do, because my cousin would always say to me, she'd call, or when we'd talk, she'd go, dude, what were you going through in June? Because Sumo was so restless in June, or he was having, and I'd be like, wow. And she'd say he'd run outside and he was always looking for something and he couldn't quite find it. Well, that's when I would really be struggling or something. So anyway, now Sumo is, again, in need of a home. And I am praying for, well, I've been begging God to let me have him. That's not going to happen, I don't think. It's just not feasible. It's just not what needs to happen for me to get to where I'm going still on this journey of serving to the capacity that I want it. And please don't understand, because I could get a job. I could get my own apartment, I could do all of that sort of stuff, and I could get a dog. Although there are breed restrictions and many apartments don't allow pit mixes, but you know what I'm saying. Ultimately, I could make it happen. I could make it happen. But then I wouldn't experience what God has for me on the level that he has for me. Anyway, just please pray for me. Please pray for Sumo. All I want is for him to be secure, safe, happy, in a family that's going to give him everything he needs, in his forever home. where there will be no more transitions. He's a very, very sensitive dog. He's extremely affectionate. He's gotten along with every other dog I've ever had him around or placed him with, and he's he's just a gentle spirit. He really is, and I'm concerned for him transitioning again. But anyway, that's all. All that just to say, birth mothers rock, and so do I. Um, so does God, and so does Sumo. So anyway, that's all. There's no real happy ending or point. That's it. Thanks.